Peace, peace, peace to the gods and the goddesses, man. About to do a quick little video. Shout out to the Cash App supporters sending in those donations. Y'all already know who y'all are. Shout out to the Cash App support. Hey. Yeah, man. What's going down out there in the Matrix? Figure I'd do, a quick little vid. I've been getting a bunch of vibes to do these vids. You know what I mean? But I've been pushing them off. A bunch of people been hitting me up, but I got the other channel and all that. Put some videos up there. You know what I mean? But I'm still looking into I still haven't decided. Let me say that. I still haven't decided on if I'm actually gonna set up some kind of service. You know what I mean? It's still up in the air. It's still in the air. You know what I mean? But the mission will never be altered. It's always about raising the vibes, no matter what, by any means necessary, son. We raising the vibes, son. No matter what situation it is, what ritual these people doing, what circumstance, stay the course of raising the vibe, son. You know what I mean? Stay the course of raising the vibe. So we just gonna be chopping it up. Y'all know how that yawn do, man. Yeah. It's a bunch of vids I was supposed to do, son. I was like, nah, son, we fall back. Ain't really trying to do no vids. Y'all already know how these videos is, man. Always talk about a quick little vid. Next thing you know, man, you'll be running for like 1, 2, 3 hours. But that's how it be, son, That's how it be, son. All off head. Ain't reading from no script. You know what I mean? Ain't going by, no movie I saw, no TV show I saw. It's just straight an etheric stream, son. You know what I mean? Straight etheric stream. You know what I'm saying? Don't need to drink no liquor, no alcohol. Don't need to smoke no bud. You know what I'm saying? It's just real. It's just natural, son. You know what I mean? I get hype off my own energy, son. You know what I'm saying? Get hype off my own solar systematic energy, son. You know what I mean? Not, not to be confused with they chakras. You know what I'm saying? Not to be confused with the spirit's chakras. You know what I'm saying? Get hype off my own solar systematic design. Hype off my own energy, son. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. There's a lot going on in the Matrix, man. A lot of rituals going on, a lot of stimulus rituals going on, a lot of reprogramming, rebooting going on. You know what I mean? It's a lot of flashbacks, rituals going on. You know what I'm saying? But no matter what rituals they doing out here, all you need to know is that that's a form of reprogramming or keeping you in the current program or vibrating their energy codes. You know what I mean? Vibrating their energy codes. And the reason why I mentioned you know what I'm saying, don't need to be drinking or none of that, or watching some documentary or whatever, to be doing these vids. A couple people had asked me like what do I do when doing these videos? Like, what's my process? There is none. There is no process. You know what I'm saying? The thought just comes in the head and we just stream it, son. That's it. I mean, the thought comes in the head and you just stream, son. There's a bunch of thoughts that be coming in the head, son. I be curving a lot of thoughts. You know what I mean? But, it just comes in the head, son. You know what I'm saying? We beyond the mind over here, son. We beyond the mind. We beyond the box. You know what I'm saying? We beyond the polarities, man. But somebody had asked me about the gods. I know I did videos speaking about the gods, but when I made a couple videos talking about, I use the language, or speaking the language, when I say that, we the God race, but the reality is we way beyond that title, son. You know what I mean? I use that title just to give an idea, so people could, just like get an idea or relate to what's being relayed when I'm saying that we the God race. But there's plenty of videos I did when I said that we beyond the gods, we beyond the God race. That title, son, because ultimately, man, like I've stated before, man, that title God is nothing. It's nothing but a willing sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? God is a Masonic title that represents a willing sacrifice. One who is willing to be sacrificed for others. That's what the title God would represent. It represents a certain level of degrees that one acquires in the phases of Masonry, son. You know what I'm saying? It's not a coincidence that when you look at these gods, they all got these Masonic themes. There is not one God that's in this motherfreaking matrix that doesn't have a Masonic theme. There's no such thing as a coincidence, man. There's no such thing as a freaking coincidence, son. You know what I mean? As I stated before, man, you got it where people could identify the obvious, and then you got those who can't identify the obvious, and they just see things as a belief, or I believe this, or I believe that. You know what I'm saying? Those are the randomers. Those who got that randomized personality, son. That randomized consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Where they just go off of belief because they blind. You know what I'm saying? They use feelings. They blind. You know what I mean? Anytime you're using feelings to identify anything, that's a sign that you're blind. You know what I'm saying? Seeing is comprehending. It's not capturing images. It's comprehending. It's knowing. You know what I'm saying? We are on a path to ascend, or should I say to transcend. There is no room for belief. There is no room for feelings. There is no room to be in submission to feelings or in submission to belief on the path to transcendence, son. You know what I'm saying? We're not in survival mode, son. The clones are in survival mode. You know what I'm saying? We in transcend mode. We transcending. We keeping it going. You know what I'm saying? The clones is spinning around in a rotation, hoping they could spin around another day. You know what I mean? Hoping they could rotate another day. But God is a Masonic title that represents a willing sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? one who doesn't have no kind of protection. Their course is already set. You know, they already made up their quote unquote minds that I'm going to, donate myself to another cause. Like if you look at the story of Jesus Christ, you see that Jesus Christ was the willing sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? Story goes that this man came here to die for the sins of the people on the planet. You know what I'm saying? He knew what his mission was. His mission was to die for others. And he accepted that mission. He was the willing sacrifice. And his whole story is about preparing him to be sacrificed. It's like a damn turkey on a farm. The farmer is feeding the turkey, sheltering the turkey, making sure the turkey is safe. Got the barbed wire fence up. Might even have an electrified fence up so no fox get up in the damn turkey stable. You know what I mean? Turkey get 3 square grain meals a day. Turkey is taken care of. They come up in there and they clean up the area where the turkey drop the turkey dookie. You know what I mean? Make sure the turkey get water. Now in the turkey simple-minded head, you know what I'm saying? The turkey is like, oh my God, this is amazing. Here I am being taken care of. You know what I'm saying? I basically got this farmer man worshiping me. He's taking care of me. He's seeing to it that I'm fed. I have water. I have a nice clean living space. So, in the turkey head is like the turkey in the turkey's head. The turkey is looking at it like the turkey is God and this farmer is just there to serve him. So the turkey's like, wow, I'm God and, the farmer's just there to serve me. But the turkey don't know that the turkey is the willing sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? The farmer is just preparing the turkey to be on somebody's plate for Thanksgiving, son. You know what I'm saying? That's the purpose of the farmer, to prepare the turkey. You know what I mean? So that it could be sold at a supermarket and eaten on somebody's plate for Thanksgiving, son. It's the same thing with the Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ come here and he's in these living arrangements and, all these people is worshiping him. You're looking at it like, wow, this is great. You know what I'm saying? Wow, this is great, son. Don't even realize that the people is preparing him to be sacrificed. Because the only reason why the people is praising Jesus Christ is because he's going to die for them. Take away that Jesus Christ is dying for these people, and you will see how these people really look at Jesus Christ. They will look at Christ like anybody else on the damn street. You know what I mean? People put more energy into those who's willing to die for them. You know what I mean? Not to mention, there's many ways you could break up, or many ways I done broke up Jesus Christ. It depends on how all they using it. You know what I mean? Because it's, it's energy and they utilize energies on many different, frequencies, man. I spoke about when you look at all these electronic devices they got out here. It don't matter if it's a damn fan or TV or VCR, DVD player, you know what I'm saying, a cell phone. It don't matter what kind of electronic device it is. It all houses the same kind of energy. So you're looking at energy being utilized on different scales. A cell phone is used different than a TV. TV used different than a radio. You know what I mean? A radio is used different than a refrigerator. But if you go to the core of all these electronic devices, they all use electricity. Positive and negative polarity, spirit shape-shifting, being utilized on different by way of different means. It's the same thing with the Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? So the Jesus Christ, depending on how they utilize it, it is like an electronic device. You know what I'm saying? They change the layer, but on the surface, it's the same damn thing. You know what I'm saying? A fourth dimensional voodoo doll, a Masonic entity that was created. You know what I mean? To get those to be the willing sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? So the people who worship of Jesus Christ, they are also part of the willing sacrifice. They are part of the willing sacrifice chain. You know what I mean? Because they say they're willing to die. They're willing to die as Jesus as their Lord and Savior. It's no different than when they say Jesus came here to die for sin. He died for our sins. He's dying for a substance. You know what I'm saying? Well, the people is, replace sin with Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? They die for Christ. You know what I'm saying? They die for Christ so they could get to heaven. You know what I'm saying? Which is, I already broke up with heaven. Heaven is here, son. Heaven is not in some, external dimension. You know what I'm saying? Even though they try to, make heaven seem like, it's outer space, it depends on how they utilizing it. They talking about the etheric realms, you know what I'm saying, where nobody dies and none of that. It's basically where souls live. You know what I'm saying? You got to see how they utilizing it though. But heaven is a comfortable space in hell. Heaven is a comfortable space in hell. You know what I mean? Because they say heaven is the opposite of hell. They say heaven is all positive and hell is negative. If you know anything about energies, positive and negative exist in the same wave band. It's not like you have negative on one wave band and then you have positive on another wave band and then they just fusing these two wave bands together. Nah. Positive and negative exist on the same wave current, the same wave band, the same spectrum. You know what I'm saying? So wherever hell is, heaven is there. Wherever heaven is, hell is there. That's why when you see on this planet, they need war for peace. Wherever you see peace, just know that war came before it. You can't have peace without war. In other words, you can't have positive without negative. You know what I'm saying? So heaven is a comfortable space in hell. It has to do with where you set up a certain paradigm in hell to keep chaotic energy at bay. So you could create your own heaven. You know what I mean? But the heaven down here is quasi. You know what I mean? It's quasi, son. You know what I mean? And in order for you to create your heaven down here, you have to use a lot of energy, son. You have to keep a lot of demonic energies at bay. You basically have to go to war. You know what I mean? If you want to keep your body in a state where it's functioning properly, you have to go to war. Your cells, what they call your immune system, your reptilian DNA, it has to go to war. It has to kill. Your cells have to kill all threats, have to kill viruses, pathogens, germs, bacteria, things of that nature. It has to kill all that. You know what I mean? It has to go to war so your body could be functioning on a stable frequency, son. If your body begins to start functioning on a frequency where it's causing an imbalance, then that means you're losing the war internally. You know what I mean? You have bacteria and all kinds of things going on in your body that's just overriding. They taking out your immune system. They taking out your cells that's supposed to be protecting you. They killing them and they converting them. You know what I'm saying? Just like when you look at these war movies and you see somebody in damn war and they run up in some area and they just strong arm those people and, you know what I'm saying, they kick their ass and now you see them start converting those people to their army. Now those people start working for the army that ran up in their village or their territory. They take them as prisoners. and recruit some of them. The same thing with that's what the cells do, son. When you lose in the battle, son. You know what I mean? So you got to go to war to get peace. So this whole thing about all positive energy, that's fugazi, man. That's clones playing with you, son. You know, this whole thing about, so-called black people of the God race. The reality is we not God, son. Even though I spoke the language plenty of times and stated that before, we beyond God, son. But we beyond that God title, son. That title represents a Masonic sacrifice, son. You are the willing sacrifice when you truly accept that you are a god or a goddess. You're the willing sacrifice. You're willing to be sacrificed. Look at all of the gods. They all sacrificed. It don't matter if it's Allah, if it's Jesus, whoever it is. They all sacrificed. They all get sacrificed. You know what I mean? They all born of some virgin, live out for a little bit, and die for somebody's cause. You know what I mean? Die for a so-called cause. It's an offering, son. You can't see how it's an offering. I remember back in the days they had this TV joint. Well, I think it was the 10 Commandments with Moses and all that, son. And they have it where they show you how they do sacrificial offerings in there. I think they had this one scene with Cain and Abel, and they had it where Cain was filling his plate with a whole bunch of food and stuff to offer to the gods, and Abel was like, man, hell with that. I ain't putting nothing like that on my plate. I'm going to give up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's an offering to another entity, man. When you're looking at, people in these funerals and they getting buried, that's an offering, son. Those people are not being buried and, having this funeral service and where you got this priest praying and they supposed to be going to heaven. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? That's them funerals is Satanism, man. You know what I'm saying? They doing satanic chants, satanic ohms, satanic prayers, from the Bible and all that, and they offering those bodies off to the deity known as Gaia, the underworld, son. That is a sacrificial offering to Earth. They're offering the bodies to Earth. You know what I'm saying? Because once upon a time, I didn't even say once upon a time, Earth is still being worshipped today as a god. You know what I mean? They do it on the low. But once upon a time, the people on the planet used to worship the planets as the gods. They used to consider the planets gods openly. You know what I'm saying? They used to consider all these planets in this solar system gods openly. But now they still do it, but it's done covertly. They do it covert. You know what I'm saying? Like a Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ symbolizes the sun. So that's them covertly still worshiping the sun in space as a god. Because if you look at the sun in space and you look at Jesus Christ, you see that they all got similar attributes. So they still worship these planets as gods, but they do it covertly. With the Allah, it's the damn moon. Instead of putting the moon, well, they do have a moon, but on a Quran and all that, people ain't gonna pick up. But instead of them putting a big moon on the cover of the Quran and be like, yeah, we worshiping the moon as a god, they would anthropomorphize the moon and make it Allah, which is Lilith. You know what I'm saying? They anthropomorphize. So they is like they veil dimensions so you can't actually see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And that's because, we fell from a higher state of dimensions. Not being able to access higher dimensions is a sign that souls on the planet fell from higher dimensions. being able to access higher dimensions. Like they cannot access higher dimensions. So there's so many veils that's put in front of these dimensions you're supposed to be accessing. And those veils come in the form of a Jesus Christ or Allah. So you can't access the dimension where it's like, well, that's not really a man that's coming here to save me. You know, that's they talking about the sun and other things as well. You know what I mean? So when they do these funerals and all that, that is a sacrificial offering, man. That is a sacrificial offering. They offering the people up to the underworld, known as Gaia, Earth, Agartha. They offering it to Gaia, the underworld, Agartha. You know what I mean? Hell. All code names for hell. You know what I mean? Because hell is to be buried. So they sentence you to hell. You know what I mean? The spirit world. They sentence you to hell. Like I've stated before, man. You know what I'm saying? The souls. They need to realize where the hell they are. It need to really click where you are. You know what I mean? And one of the reasons why it ain't clicking is because they simulate in these programs, these different consciousness that prohibit it from clicking. If you simulate in a consciousness of being black, it would never click. Because that program is like a firewall that stops you from clicking. You have to go beyond the programs. You have to go beyond the simulated programs they want you to keep recycling, son. Which is all different dimensions of positive and negative polarities. All these algorithms they have down here, which represent consciousness, all operate on a positive and negative polarity. It's no different than you looking at all these different electronic devices. They all use electricity, positive and negative polarities. Look at all the different hundreds of millions of electronic devices that exist out here, son, that do all these different tasks. But they all being used by the same power. Look at all those hundreds of millions of different electronic devices as consciousness. Individual personalities that make up consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's a damn heater, a fan, a vacuum, a light bulb, a damn electric a garage door opener, a remote, a damn fish tank pump. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what it is, man. It all uses the same electricity, son. It uses the same power. But when you're looking at the apparatuses that was created, look at that as algorithms that represent a specific type of personality. That's what they got souls on the planet doing, son. They got you simulating these same programs, keeping you trapped in positive and negative polarity, son. Ultimately, if you go in depth into those personalities, you know what I'm saying, you will see that it's all being fueled by positive and negative polarities. So you're trapped. It don't matter what you're in. It don't matter what personality you adopt, you favor to, you gravitate towards, you feel like it's you. You're trapped in the positive and negative polarity, son. You know what I mean? You have yet to activate overseer vision. You know what I'm saying? You're still running around here with the beast vision. The beast vision is limited to polarities. However, the soul vision, the etheric vision, could go way beyond that. It sees it for what it is, son. It sees the God for what it is. You know what I mean? It sees the God for what it is. We way beyond gods. Yeah, I speak the language that we the God race. But the reality is, son, We not the God race, because the God race is meant to be sacrificed. You know what I mean? They are meant to be sacrificed. The God race would be the willing sacrifice. And hell no, we ain't here to be sacrificed for no spirits. You know what I mean? Because if you take a look and see how societies ran, there's always a carbon man or a carbon woman being violated in some shape, form, or fashion. And within that violation, it is fueling the other side. It don't matter if they go into a damn Korean nail spot and they getting their nails done. They're being violated. They in there inhaling all of those fumes, effing their lungs up, all these chemicals. You know what I'm saying? Which is killing them. The sacrifice. They are the willing sacrifice. They willing to go into these beauty salons, put all these perms and chemicals all up in their crown, killing their abilities to access higher dimensions. That is a form of them being a willing sacrifice. And in turn, those Koreans and those Dominicans who own those beauty salon spots, they reap the benefits, and it sustains their existence by way of the currency and the consistent support. You know what I mean? So they the willing sacrifice, and whenever they get violated in some shape, form, or fashion, it always fuels the other side, because the life that they are giving up when they are being sacrificed, or the portions of their lives that they're giving up when they're being sacrificed, is being used as a fuel source to continue the spirits, to continue the humans. You know what I mean? No matter if they getting shot by a damn cop, you know what I mean? It's fueling the cops. It's fueling that energy. It's rebirthing. It's like the energy could be dying down, and they'll do some police brutality, and next thing you know, that police brutality is like a damn defibrillator. Now it resparks the field, the energy. It resparks the stranglehold. It continues the vibe. It continues that slave vibe, the willing sacrifice vibe. Being black. The H&M coolest monkey in the jungle hoodie. It resparks the vibe. H&M going out of business. They do a damn coolest monkey in the jungle green hoodie, messing with you with those colors and all that. Next thing you know, y'all get all emotional, not seeing what's going on. Now H&M talking about they having a sale. Everybody go there, buy their stuff. Fuels the vibe, son. You know what I'm saying? Fuels the vibe. You know what I mean? So they do a lot of Masonic motifs, willing sacrifice out here, son. Don't think that don't think that Jesus Christ only exists in the church. You know what I mean? There's a lot of carbonated beings out here who's pretending to be black people. They got a lot of Jesus Christ contracts on their head, son. They got a lot of Jesus Christ contracts on their head, son. From those standing on the corner selling drugs to the chicks sliding up and down poles. They all got Jesus Christ contracts on their head, son. They are the willing sacrifice, man. Their energy is being used as a fuel source to fuel other species on the planet. And when their energy is being used as a fuel source, their life force is being stripped away simultaneously. You know what I mean? It's like I stated before. You can't have the positive without the negative. The opposite polarities is created simultaneously, son. If you stripping life, somebody is feeding it and using it to sustain or extend their existence. That's how it is in this realm. And the God race, you know what I'm saying, need to know this. You need to know this. You need to know how powerful your energy is. Your energy keeps the spirits going, not their energy, son. The spirits feeding up off their own energy would be like a vampire drinking dead blood. Spirits feeding up off their own energy would be like a vampire consuming dead blood. You know what I mean? Straight up. They need the real energy. Souls. That's what it has always been about. It was never about how these cats be talking about, oh, black guys got the bigger meat pistol, so you know the white man is he afraid that, or the white woman want the black man, so the white man is jealous. Man, the hell with that, man. Ain't got nothing to do with that. It has always been about that we are real, you know, the souls, and they are fake spirits. That's it. That is it. You deal with it realistically. Now you see why they put up all those dimensions from stopping you from accessing reality, son. I did the video before talking about how the beasts create dimensions. Yes, dimensions is artificial. As I spoke in past videos, son. The beasts create all kinds of dimensions. Football stadium, that's a dimension. Basketball court, dimensions. You know what I'm saying? Those are all Ouija boards. A basketball court, as I stated before, is a Ouija board. A tennis court, a football court, ice hockey ring. Those are all Ouija boards. Those are all dimensions that's used to access other realities, artificial realities, used to cast spells, all kinds of things, son. You know what I mean? So the beasts create all kinds of dimensions. Whether it's a club or it's a freaking theme park, freaking Disneyland. Dimensions. You know what I mean? Cities, boroughs, states, dimensions. You know what I mean? Grocery stores, dimensions. Those are all different dimensions, man. Word up. You know what I mean? But we beyond gods, man. We not no willing sacrifice. You willing to sacrifice yourself to continue the hybrids? You know what I mean? Hell to the mother freaking no. The hell with the hybrids. It's all about the real. The souls. I mean, ain't about no hybrids, man. You know, we the hell with waking up. We up. We up in this mud. You know what I mean? We up in this mud. Ain't no going back to sleep over here. It clicked. And once it click, it is no unclicking, son. We up. We ain't waking up. We ain't woke. We up. We vibe up. Our vibe is up, son. We made contact with reality. You know what I mean? And we know that there's more dimensions of contact that awaits. You know what I mean? Contact awaits. More contacting awaits. You know what I mean? Peeling back more layers of this mud dutter. Straight avocados, man. Hurry up. You raising the vibe, son. For real. Not for fake. Standing on a corner with a book. That's a program. You know what I'm saying? We raising the vibe for real. Not for fake in some lower Masonic lodge known as a church, standing in front of some damn sacrificial table altar, sitting up here talking about nonsense, keeping the people in a program. You know what I'm saying? They can't connect to the God for real, so they have to do it for fake. They have to pretend. You know what I mean? We do it for real. You know what I mean? And only the real could connect to the real. And that's not even debatable. Only the real could connect to the real. When the real begin to start being real, you will start seeing and connecting to the real. And once you start doing that, you will start disconnecting from the fake. You know what I mean? But the fake, they can't connect to the real. So they have to pretend. They have to pretend. That's why they have to create their statues, their temples, and all that crap. You know what I mean? Because they can't do it for real. They not allowed in the house of the Lord. You know what I mean? So they got to create houses of archons, which is artificial lords. The damn archons is fake lords. You know what I mean? The real lords is the souls, the oversouls. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Just know, man, that we beyond the gods, man. We beyond that title, man. We beyond all titles. You know, we even beyond the title of soul. We beyond all that. You know what I mean? These were languages that we created to give those who cannot truly connect an idea of what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Giving them a idea, son. But we beyond that, son. We beyond language. We beyond mathematics. You know what I mean? Which ain't nothing but algorithms, programs. We beyond all that, man. You know what I'm saying? We beyond all of that. That was just created to give those an idea who would have no idea if it was never created. See, we already know what it is without having that created. When we in our real soul state, we already know what it is without having mathematics and freaking language. We already know what it is. You know what I mean? But we know that the spirits and the clones, they would never know what it is. So we have to create something to give them an idea. Because without us creating that, they would have no idea. They will be scratching their head till there's mountains of dandruff on the damn planet. They'll be still in the damn cave, man. It's still in the cave, grunting and knuckle dragging, son. You know what I mean? Still trying to figure out how to make fire. 1,000,000 years passed. They still ain't figured it out. You know what I mean? So how we had to give them an idea that fire exists, man. We started a forest freaking fire, son. On the damn planet. Let these motherfuckers see fire. Because they ain't never gonna figure it out. You know, the humans, they need to see something first in order to get an idea. You know, let's beam the sun down in a freaking hot, dry bush. And let's make it burn. You know what I mean? Now they see the fire. Now they get an idea. Fire can be created. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, man. Word up. But yo, man. About to get up out of here, man. I already know what it is, man. It's all about raising the vibe, man. We be on. Period. Beings of beyond, son. Beyond all that. Beyond God. You know what I mean? We ain't part of the sacrificial chain, the willing sacrificial chain, son. Hell to the mother freaking no. At least I know I ain't. You know what I mean? I ain't sitting up here trying to prolong this species. I mean, conserving my own energy for me. I mean, ultimately, son. I mean, it ain't about, man, it's about raising the vibe, son. That's all it is, son. Raising the vibe. And I'm up out of here, man.